All right, guys, welcome to the Incredibly Average Podcast. I'm your host, Evan, and I'm joined with our other hosts,
Travis, Eric,
Donnie.
Michael. And I'm starting you off with this, guys. I want to get your podcasting started off right. He who goes to sleep with an itchy butt wakes up with a stinky finger. And I'll let you interpret that how you want. The way I interpret it is this: go to bed preparing yourself to succeed tomorrow. And if you don't, you're going to wake up with a stinky finger. All right. So there you go. You can have that, and that's free of charge, too. That's all I had for this episode.
What is the pod? What the fuck?
No, okay. So
Right.
last time, gosh, it feels like forever ago we recorded.
It actually does.
It was before New Year's.
Yeah.
And I know one thing we talked about was the 30-day reading challenge. And I'll just start off with that because I have been going hard at that, actually. Believe it or not, I finished this book already. It's my first book since high school.
Nice.
Thank you. It was a great book. I'll talk about it a little bit because I think it talks about a lot of good stuff that relates to this podcast. It's called Seek by Scott
Pilgrim.
Shigioka. I'm probably saying that wrong. But it's about curiosity and how curiosity can be a superpower. One of his big things that he talks about is the dive model, which is detach, intend, value, and embrace. So detaching from your assumptions, biases, and certainties. Meaning, if you meet someone and they're a Democrat or a Republican, detaching from what you think you already know about them, and your certainties about that person, and just being open and curious. I think that's huge in the world today, and just being a good person and having a genuine conversation with somebody and kind of leaving that all behind is is pretty important. And that's something I try to do anyway, but it's easy not to, and you don't even realize it. So intend is intentionally spending your time where you want to and how you want to who you want to be around, and what you want to be doing with your life, I guess, in a way. And how curiosity plays a role in that. Value is valuing others and more so yourself, I guess. And I think a big part of the value part of this that I took from it was valuing yourself in just any conversation. So it's something that we all do and don't even realize it as well, is when we're inviting someone to do something. I think a lot of us go, hey, I want you to come over for dinner or whatever. Or, we'll say something like, let's go out to dinner or do anything, whatever you want to do. It's more of the value that you put behind it. It kind of degrades yourself. And I don't know, I thought that was kind of interesting because I think that's easy to do because, you want to keep the invite open, whatever you're planning to do. But it changes the intention behind it. So that was an interesting thing I got from it. And then the last one was embrace, which means just welcoming any new curious act you could, welcoming any anybody to your life and any activity, and embracing it with everything you got. So I actually really enjoyed the book. I was doing 10 pages a day, but I ended up, like, first time I opened it, I think I read like 50 pages.
Nice.
And then kept rolling. So I finished it Friday, so it took me like 10 days to do. And the next one I'm reading is called The Mountain Is You, and this is not a sponsor, but it's about self-sabotage and transforming yourself through self-mastery. I don't know much about the book, but I thought it was interesting, and I'm gonna go ahead and read that one next. So what about you, Eric? You said you were gonna read. How's that thing?
So as with everything else, I'm gonna let you down. Okay. Nah, I've been reading every single day.
Oh, really?
I've been on my grind too. Thanks for the motivation. I finished a book yesterday that I was reading called Ultra 85. It's by Logic. Really good book. It's a fiction book. It's the second one. Not as good as this first one, Supermarket, but I really liked it. And I've been doing definitely at least 10 a day pages, but some days I've read more than that for sure. And today I started a different book, and it's a book I was already reading, Crazy Rich Asians, but I read 80 pages today. I don't know why.
Was that a book before it was a movie?
Yeah, it's a trilogy that's the movie was based off of. But yeah, I've been on top of my reading as well, and it's been good. And there's been some days where, like, I'll wake up and it's like the first thing I do, and then there's other days where it's 11 p.m. and I was like, oh, I gotta read. I haven't read yet. The day gets away from me.
I've
But
definitely been there. I find it easier for myself to, like, set the mood. like I'll dim the lights, I'll put some lo-fi hip hop on.
You
like,
hop in the bathtub, light a few candles,
yeah,
Rose
in a way.
petals.
In a way.
toaster next to
I
you.
light a candle and I really just kind of settle in, and it makes it like much more enjoyable.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I try not to read in bed because I'll just be laying there and get tired
Mhm.
and not want to read anymore.
This is a good way to go to sleep, though.
Yeah.
It
If
is
you're
a good
looking
way.
to try to fall asleep.
I do find myself usually doing it right before bed. So it is nice to kind of reset. But then again, like I end up going to bed and getting on my phone for a little bit. So maybe with TikTok getting banned January 19th, allegedly, that'll change a little bit. Who knows?
But here's the thing: you are allowed to still have that. You are doing the challenge still. It's not like you're watching TikTok and not reading. Maybe you're not reading in bed like you originally intended,
Mhm.
but you are still getting your reading. So
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
good.
And that's all I really wanted to do. But, I'll eventually wean off my phone time a little bit. I have a lot of screen time. So,
No, for sure. I like that you weren't even sure. You're like, I'll probably get one book done.
Yeah.
10 a day, but you've been grinding.
I went hard. Like I think the first of the year, me and Kels went to Books a Million, and I just bought 3 books.
Mm-hmm.
It was expensive, like
Yeah.
the hardbacks, because I wanted to try to keep them
Right.
because, especially with audiobooks, when I listen to them, I forget about them. But I felt like if I kept like a nice book and on a shelf, it would remind me of what I learned in that book or a little bit about the book as I see it every day. So I wanted to start my own little library just so I can think back on the books that I do read.
How much
And-
did those books run you, roughly?
Yeah, these are
Because I don't even know how much books are anymore.
these are $30.
I mean, the price of books, it varies.
But yeah, I've been enjoying it actually a lot. And like the first book I read, I never heard of this book. I was literally just browsing at the store and it looked interesting from the side. So I just picked it up. And honestly, it was perfect for kind of what I was wanting to learn more about and get into more this year, which is just kind of opening myself up and being more open to new ideas and just being more curious, because I think myself, outside of my close friends, I'm more introverted, which I wish I wasn't, but I find it hard to spark conversations with people that I don't know sometimes.
I do too.
I don't believe that about you at
I
all.
know. That's see, 'cause
Doesn't
you
seem
know
like it,
me,
but
but like in a different setting, I am kind of different. Like I just don't open up like I would with close friends. So
right.
that's just something about me that I wish I just want to change that. So I want to have more confidence in myself and be able to spark a conversation, a good, valuable conversation with someone that I just met,
Right.
and leave an impression.
So did you struggle picking those books out? Because sometimes I find with me, like, and I said I go to the library a lot, is finding a book to read, because there's just so many options and you're just seeing the title or the cover of it, which is how I pick them sometimes.
Mhm.
But then sometimes you get some duds. So how did you go
Yeah.
about those?
So I mean, I first off, it was usually what caught my eye, but then I went ahead and read like the little blurb about what it's about, and if there was anything remotely interesting, I just grabbed it. So
Mhm.
I went through a bunch of books. We were there for probably like an hour. Like it wasn't too much time,
Mhm.
but this was the first one I found, and actually this one wasn't the one I bought there. This is my 4th book that I bought. The other 2, one was about dreaming, and it's a pretty big book about
Interesting.
what dreaming means and why we do it, and it gets into the science of it and kind of the unknown science, I guess, because Kelsey actually started reading that one because she was interested in it too. And I think it's interesting because there's just not a lot, we don't know why, we still don't know why we dream, and I think that's fascinating. So that's one I'll read here soon. And then I got Arnold Schwarzenegger's autobiography.
Mhm.
I haven't read that one,
Hmm.
but I thought that might be interesting just because he's had a very interesting life.
Yeah, he's done a lot.
Yeah,
of
he's old
things.
as hell.
Yeah,
That's what you got from that.
He's old, but like
He's got a lot of experience.
I know.
Experiences.
bodybuilding.
You could have been like, yeah, he was a politician, he was a bodybuilder, he was an actor, and you just went with old as hell.
I just summarized it all by just saying
Okay.
that's how he's just old.
Yeah.
Yeah, like governor of California, one of the top actors in the world at his peak.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding.
He's still
champion.
acting.
Yeah.
He's still in movies.
There.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably.
low
He's
budget stuff. But
Old as balls though.
He's what, like 80? 70, 75, 80?
I don't like to judge people on their looks.
Anybody else read it all? Nobody else said they were going to do it, but has anybody else been reading out of curiosity?
Yeah, I haven't started yet. I need to go like look for books, but I don't even plan to do that for a couple months probably. But yeah,
Cool. Yeah, I was just curious. Travis probably no.
No
You know-
books, but man, I am just reading on Twitter. That's my daily news. I wake up in the morning.
It's called
and
X.
I'm not calling it that.
I
Sorry.
don't either.
Yeah, it's been nice. I mean, like I said, I don't think I've read a book since The Hunger Games in high school. Even when we had to read a book to pass a like to for a class, towards the end, I didn't even read one page of any of the books we were supposed to.
I never read. I've always loved reading, but if they told me I had to read a book, I would never read it.
Yeah, I struggled with it. I remember reading for school. I read one book and it was called Bud Not Buddy in like middle school. And the
Yeah.
only reason I don't think I read it, but it was the year I moved to Tuslaw, and we read it at Glen Oak the year before, so I already knew the book. So like reading it was kind of easy, and like the tests were easy
Mhm.
because I had already done this. So
Right.
like that is 7th grade.
Yeah.
That was the last time I read a book in school, and then like I said, high school was the last time I read, and that was a decade ago now.
Right.
A real book. So
I got really into the Percy Jackson series in like 8th grade,
Those are good
7th, 8th
books.
grade. The mythology
Yeah,
books.
I
Those
did
were
too,
super good.
actually.
I think I'd probably get a fiction book first. I just always enjoyed just the idea of just the fiction stuff more, but
I think it'd be harder to pick one out because maybe nonfiction's a little easier because you kind of know what you are interested in and want to learn. But when you go into fiction, it's like there's so
I
many.
mean, there's
options.
Yeah, that
it's
is
like unlimited,
That is why I do pick sometimes strictly based on the title or the cover,
right?
and then you read the little like excerpt from it.
I could see how you could get a dud out of that.
Yeah.
Just-
I mean, usually I've been fine, but it's definitely more of a challenge. But I can always recommend some too.
yeah,
So-
yeah. I'll take recommendations for sure. I don't even know where to start. So
Key thing is you were doing this as a challenge, but you said you've been enjoying it, which I said was the key thing about it. You know, you want to enjoy what you're doing, not just do it to challenge yourself. You're doing both.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
yeah, it's good. I mean, I had the interest, and it's panning out.
You
Yeah.
already look smarter to me.
Yeah, right.
I can see your head's getting a little bigger from your brain getting a little
I
bigger.
got a big fat brain, dude. I'll add to that on the topic of reading in quotations. I had a 8-hour drive yesterday from St. Louis to home, and I decided instead of just listening to music, I'd listen to a book. So I put on the book I was listening to, which was Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, and I had 5.5 hours left in the book, and I listened to the whole thing. The whole ride home was just Green Lights from Matthew.
Did you
McConaughey.
start to finish the book the whole ride?
I had 8%. I was 8% into the book, which
Okay.
Like
I
20
probably
minutes.
listened maybe 20 to 30. I think 20 minutes.
Doesn't he read that one though?
He reads.
That
it,
does
yeah.
help. You're getting his
It helps for sure.
his inflections on everything. And
Yeah, that definitely helped keep it interesting. But it was a very. I mean, he had a.
it's a great book.
Yeah, you've read it.
Yeah, I own it. I read it a few years ago. Because I mean, you already know, like, if you're a fan of him, that he's, I mean, just cool. But he goes through his journey, obviously, of different movie productions, and then like where he's from, and definitely some interesting stories about his home life growing up in there. But I could imagine hearing him tell those stories would
Yeah.
make it even better.
It makes it much better, I think. So that's a bonus for audiobooks. But he talked about like how he was an exchange student in Australia for a year.
Yeah.
And, how he started his acting career, and he ended up having like a music production company and like a movie production company and like 3 other things going on. It was good. That kept me interested the whole time. So if you're looking for a good audiobook and you like Matthew McConaughey, go ahead and take the jump, buy Green Lights, and give it a listen. It's pretty good.
I bet he didn't talk about them Buckeyes thrashing the Longhorns.
That's in the sequel.
So you talk about his tuna salad in that book.
There was one moment where he said he got a tuna salad from the store. That's all he talked about. He didn't actually.
Give them his recipe.
What else? Last time we've been talking about marathon prep. We can touch on that for a sec. I mean, how's it been going? Because I feel behind. But I've been running a lot. I think this week I got 18 or 19, maybe 20 miles in.
That's awesome though.
I have to look, but I mean that's
that's
good.
good.
But I just feel the progress is slow, and I know it's gonna be slow. But I don't know. I'm gonna ramp it up. Keep trying to ramp it up a little bit every week. I'm just not trying to hurt myself or do anything that
For sure.
is not needed. But
Mm-hmm.
how have you been doing, Eric?
Have you ran yet, Eric?
He's ran. He already.
Everyone at the table here knows that I have ran. I've ran a few times, nothing too crazy, like 3 miles at a time. So I have started. Everyone get off my back. It's not as much as I want to yet because I'm juggling too many things as I always do. And I'm very hard pressed for time. But I feel good every time I've done it. And
That's good.
Devin, I texted you last Sunday. Like I had my soccer game and I went home and ran 3 miles after my soccer game.
Nice.
And I was like, what is up with me right now? And I felt super good about it.
You do feel good afterwards.
Yeah. So I definitely
That's good.
need to bump it up, but I've started slow, but
You
it's
still on
happening.
the same track, John?
Yeah, I ramped it up a little bit, but
Did you?
yeah.
What
it's
do
going
you?
good.
What are you averaging out? A week maybe or a day?
It's probably between 25 and 30 a week, I'd say.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's.
What is are you going on any long runs?
I mean, I haven't done really anything over 7 miles.
Okay. I mean, 7 I feel is still good for like how
Yeah.
far out we are right now.
Yeah, I mean, it'll ramp up slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These aren't confirmed, but I have talked to a couple other people that might join as well.
Oh,
really?
My buddy Bobby, he does run in general. And I was talking to him like a week ago. He does like Spartan runs and stuff sometimes. He's trying to get me to do one of those, which is not happening. But I was like, hey, I'm actually signed up for a marathon if you want to tag along. And he's like, I've been thinking about doing a half or a full. I guess this might be the motivation. So
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
he hasn't signed up, but he's thinking about it. And then my buddy Ryan, who I told you did the half last year, he was looking at doing one in April, but to give himself more time, he might end up doing the Cleveland one in May. But he's not signed up for that either yet. But
Okay.
he's hardcore thinking about it. So,
Nice.
Mhm.
That's exciting.
so we really might have a whole crew.
We
Too bad we
I
don't
mean,
get a team discount. or
Nah.
anything crazy. That'd be cool.
Eric did set us up as a team.
I did get us signed up as a team, but like,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
no
that's
actual
okay.
like, no, I had everyone
Oh.
added already. But there's no actual like perks of it. I think maybe if you look at your results, they are just lumped together, or you can start together, or
You can
if
probably-
you're raising
one of them
money,
can start together.
if you're raising money, you can raise as a team instead of as individuals, but none of us are trying to raise money. So,
Yeah.
but I just thought it'd be cool to lump us all as a group anyway.
I think you get placed as a team too, and there's prizes for like team.
Maybe,
get
I don't know.
Second, third.
I didn't really see any info on the website about any of that.
I just think that's how they normally are. Is that accurate, John?
I don't know.
I think they do like individual and then team scoring.
Okay.
Maybe.
Like an average type.
I mean, what else would they do it for other than just results?
I really think it's more for raising money.
Maybe.
Probably.
And probably starting together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just figured it would be cool for us to just be lumped together. So
Yeah. Hey, and we'll try to find some other people who want to do it. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. So anyone that says yes is a.
and I'm not really trying to like force people into it because like I don't intend on us sticking together during the race or anything. We're gonna do our own thing, I imagine, or I plan to.
Eventually,
I
yeah.
plan to. But I know these people are running, so I'm like, hey, I'm doing this. If you wanna hop on, let me know.
That's
So,
all. I mean, while you're out there, if you do end up by yourself, it's good to feel and know that someone else is out there that you know struggling, probably shitting themselves.
yeah.
Is one of you gonna poop yourself? That's the important question.
I definitely think
I think Devin might poop his
I
pants.
will probably. I mean, I'll stop and do it, but if
Yeah.
I feel it coming on and there's a port,
They
then
probably
I'm,
have one every mile. I
yeah,
don't like it.
I'm gonna try to stay away from it. But if it,
Imagine the line for that.
I mean, you might get in the zone and just say whatever. I'm just gonna do it, and I probably. What if you see 6 people pass you with shit down their leg?
Oh, there's gonna probably be a good amount of people with a little bit of doo doo back there.
We'll probably be way behind the people that are trying that hard, but maybe I don't know. Mike, there's still time to sign up. Just FYI.
No, thank you.
Mike, I'll do it if you do it, but that's the only way I do
That's
it.
just cap. You're just lying.
That's crazy.
I would 100%
That-
do it if Mike did it.
That's crazy.
That
I'm
is
not-
a full-on lie. I know Trav so well. That is a straight-up lie.
I promise. I would do it if you did it.
I'm looking him dead in the eye for you, Mike. I know he's lying.
I would.
I can
just
tell
know
just
Mike
by
wouldn't
his
do it.
voice, bro.
I just know Mike wouldn't do it. So
What if
I'm
you
not
guys
gonna
got
do it.
together and signed up at the same time?
Mike doesn't
Hear me
I
out,
don't-
Trav. You want to do it so bad, just do it.
No, I
Oh,
don't want to.
I mean, facts of the-
I'm just throwing you in the mix with it. I would do it if you did it, but you don't run like that. Like I kind of run, you don't. So you
Why you
wouldn't do
always
it.
throwing shots?
Chat,
at me?
he's baiting.
Listen, you don't even
I'm
have
just saying.
You guys can do the half. What about that?
Did he say chat? Like we're live streaming right now?
Hey, chat, clip that. What about the half? What do you think, Mike Trav? Do the half.
I'm down for the full thing if Mike does it with me.
He's not gonna do it. He doesn't want to do it.
I don't support peer pressure. I'm just gonna put that out there.
It's not peer pressure.
It is peer
Sometimes you
pressure.
just need a nudge.
That's still peer pressure.
Maybe a little.
It might be peer pressure, but it'd be good. You know, it'd be good for you. You gotta train for it. You might lose a little weight. You gotta be disciplined. You might learn something. I haven't learned anything yet, but I'm getting there. Maybe I'll learn something.
Can I switch topics?
Yeah, go for it.
Did we have a poll question last week? That wasn't the kangaroo one, was it?
Oh yeah. The poll last week. I don't know if you saw it, Mike, but it was: could Mike beat a kangaroo's ass?
It was yes, no, and then it was like yes after 6 rhino pills or
Correct.
something. I think yes won.
I gotta go back and look because I think people are on drugs.
I voted for the
Absolutely
rhino
not got
pills.
60%, but he just straight up, he didn't, yeah, he just put a general statement. Could he beat an adult kangaroo in a fight?
And that is the statement. What else am I supposed to put?
Oh wait, absolutely not one. Is that?
Yeah, I got 60%.
Oh,
But no, if you, I mean, you want to put all the details, it might be a different answer, but
What's all
I mean,
gotta
it's
be
hard to type
specific.
out a fucking novel, I guess.
Okay.
Saying do your own research.
It's got to be.
So you're not so you're saying that could Mike fight an adult kangaroo is not enough detail?
Yeah.
He's got a
he
lot
wanted
of
that to be a
rules it.
summary.
Okay, I see. Well, the answer was absolutely not. But I will say I think you could with 6 rhino pills.
This is the founder of Kyla's Creations speaking here.
She makes fire brownies. At New Year's, they were the most gooey, delicious brownies I've had in at least a year. Facts. Go ahead, Kyla.
I just also want to say for Mike's case that this is a free advertisement, so it's not going to be a great ad. It's just an ad, you know? So, yeah, Kyla's Creations, cookies, cakes, and more. Come get them anytime you want them. And find me on Facebook.
Which holidays can you get Kyla's Creations
All of
for? Every holiday.
Hanukkah,
Yeah.
Kwanzaa, Flag Day.
Yes.
Are you making boxes for kids to make cookies with their parents?
That is facts. And it could be at some of your nieces and nephews' homes because I've had some orders from some family members.
We finally got her, guys. We finally got the Kyla for the Kyla's Creations ad read. I can't believe it. And she's not giving us anything for it.
Yeah, she didn't even bring any baked goods today.
So for the next half hour, I'm going to read straight out of this book.
You guys were playing Fortnite last night. How was that?
It's fun.
Yeah.
We
Fortnite's
got
good.
second 3 times in a row and we didn't win one game.
That's not.
Yeah,
good.
what indie game were you playing, Eric?
I was playing Stumble Guys.
Stumble Guys, what is that? An off-brand?
It is an off-brand Fall Guys.
That's
You're playing
funny.
Fall Guys.
Because I'm not gonna get the platinum in Fall Guys, but I'm close on Stumble Guys.
Did you
Okay.
download?
We'll
some-
help you, dog. Just
Johnny
ask.
said he won't help me,
I never
Johnny
said-
literally will.
but I can't interrupt your Fortnite time. That's the issue.
Dude, yes, you can. It would take us such little. We just want to play games, bro.
I'm downloading Snowplow Simulator too.
Snowplow Simulator 2.
No, I that is a good topic to bring up because I wanted to ask you guys about this because I have lost interest in video games. What does that mean?
You're a loser.
That means give me your Xbox and rest in peace to our friendship.
What is the joy we're getting out of it? Because I'm trying to get back into it. I don't.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. You've been saying multiple things lately as you don't find joy in things, and usually it has to do with fictional, fantasy, imaginative things. So, what is wrong with your doll life?
I think
I think your imagination is going away and it's scaring me.
I just think I'm not
Maybe, yeah.
not interested in video. I don't know why.
I mean, you don't have to be I think a lot of people lose interest in that stuff at
Yeah.
our age roughly.
Little early for your midlife crisis, but
I don't think I'm having a midlife crisis. I just don't find joy in video games anymore.
listen, that's okay because you grow out of things. There are certain game types that I don't enjoy as much anymore either. Now I do play a lot of games still, but I mean, these other two at the table do not enjoy games either. They play a little bit, but
Oh, I
they play
enjoy-
2 games.
I enjoy games.
Okay, no, you
know,
don't.
I'm playing Pokemon on my Game Boy all the time.
You play that and you play Fortnite. That is all you play
What's-
in
just
Snowplow
because it's
Simulator,
not a
okay?
campaign game
No, I'm just saying you
doesn't
don't like
mean
a
we-
plethora of games.
Pokemon is
I don't-
definitely a
I
campaign
don't agree.
game.
It's,
They like-
it's factual.
I can't believe we're shaming
okay.
people for liking 2 things.
Now Mike plays games.
Yes,
He was
Mike
playing
plays
Elden Ring the other
campaign
day.
games.
Play El- I watch Mike play Elden Ring. So.
This dude's Eric's pocket watching me. How you know I was playing Elden Ring?
I play games. I stay on. What you mean?
My fault.
I stay offline though.
Mike, did you play the campaign for Call of Duty yet?
I did not.
See,
I
I-
will. I mean, I'll play it at some point, bro. It's just like if I'm
No, you don't have
on
to. I
and
was-
my friends aren't. Yeah, I only play like COD and Fortnite if my friends are on to play with me. If they're not on, I'm playing like a single player. Like I've been playing Elden Ring.
Yeah, that's when I would be playing Pokemon.
I think we can all agree though that It Takes Two is just one of the best games ever made.
I still haven't finished it.
And
Shout
I
out my
have
boyfriend
twice.
Trey.
I've finished it twice.
If I invited you over, will you finish it with me?
If I can come over, but you don't have chips.
No,
I
drinks.
do have chips
Why don't we?
You don't have drinks.
Why don't we beat it since him and
You
Mike?
guys should play.
because I'm already 3/4 of the way through the story.
So
And
By
I need to just
yourself?
finish it.
I can't just hop on.
No, with a different friend, but
Oh, okay.
him and I, like, our schedule just does not work at all. So I'm like ready to bail on him for the campaign because I want to finish it, but I don't want
Did
to
you
start
finish
over.
it? You play with your
So
dad.
What happens if you don't have someone to play with? You just take it up. Who
No,
plays?
you have to have someone to play with.
Oh, okay.
I never got to play it because he couldn't get it to work, so I never played it. I got.
Oh,
it.
you never got to play it. You should try that with somebody. I think you would enjoy that game a lot.
I should.
I think
would.
everybody would.
I have. I mean, the last couple games I've gotten into were like those indie kind of like
I mean-
like Hogwarts Legacy and Outer Wilds.
Play
the
with
last two.
play with Kelsey. It's supposed to be like a couples game.
Did this dude just call Hogwarts an indie game?
Like
Let him go.
Like a one
Campaign.
player.
I think you're
Oh.
just. I don't think you're done playing video games. You might be. I think you're more so like him, where he's not interested in playing like Call of Duty and things like that anymore. Maybe you're just more into the campaign. The first.
Yeah, you're not playing the right games or for the right reasons.
Maybe. Well,
I mean-
let me ask you this: what do you guys play for?
Pretty much the
Emulate.
same reason like anyone reads anything like kind of like fiction or whatnot. Like if you're watching a TV show, movie, reading a book, like video games is pretty much the same thing, but it's like interactive for you as well.
Yeah. I think
You
I-
immerse yourself into a different world.
I'd rather
you
like,
escape.
like I'm interacting with it.
That's fair.
I have
Yeah,
more
for the most
fun
part, I agree. with
I understand
that.
what you're
than
saying.
just kind of sitting and watching. And it's a social aspect.
But yeah, I was gonna say, is it fun alone, or do you only want to play when other people are playing?
I still have fun alone. It just is a different game.
Yeah.
I don't want to play Fortnite alone necessarily. But
I almost exclusively prefer playing alone, personally.
I was
Loser.
I feel like
Loser.
you're trying to attack me, but I'm an introvert.
No, I just feel like you like to when you're playing it for. That's why I was asking this because, like, I feel like Johnny, Travis, and Mike, you guys mostly play to talk with each other and like have fun and just to like kind of stimulate your mind for a little bit, and
Yeah.
you got nothing going on, like nothing else you have to do, so it's just a good time to laugh and
Kind of
you know,
unwind.
escape
and-
a little bit.
Yeah.
But I feel like you play not to laugh and escape in that way, but to get immersed into it.
Mhm.
it's
And-
you're still unwinding in your own way.
For sure.
Yeah, like you're doing it for some parts of the same reason, but some part like that social aspect is not what you're trying to get out of playing.
Sometimes I do it because I'm just chasing platinums. If you know what that is, I got 51 now.
Yeah, see, I think we're all just kind of playing for different reasons. Like sometimes, like I don't play for trophies on PlayStation, but Eric has PlayStation, I have PlayStation, but I don't. He plays for the trophies. I don't play for the trophies. There's different things. Like I think
Mhm.
you might play more, or you might have more fun if we all started playing games together. If we found the right game to
Well,
play, because I know you don't like to play Fortnite.
I mean, see, I liked Fortnite for a while. I just and you guys can attest to this. I've always been the type to like, I'm not playing for long. I mean, I have for a little bit, but like, I hit a point where I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm shutting my Xbox off, and I'm not saying.
yeah.
bye.
You don't even say that. You just get off.
I will just, and I've always done that. I always used to be like, oh my god, a tree's falling on my house, and like push the power button, and like I'm done. Like playing Gears of War when I was a kid. Like I've always gamed, but I always find that I hit this wall where it's not that I don't want to talk to anybody.
You're just
but
uninterested. Like
I
you
get
just
bored, and I felt like I was forcing myself to get on just so I could play and like talk to you guys and
yeah.
keep in the know and like what you guys are talking about on it. But I'm like forcing myself to do it. Why am I doing it? So I
Right.
haven't really played much.
I feel
But
like
I did like it at times. But
I feel like it is a combination of us just not playing games you're not as interested in. Because I feel like you would. I mean, when we played Minecraft together, you were on Minecraft till like 3 a.m. at times.
one night though, and then I haven't played it since.
With or without people, though, you were playing that game.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
I always got into Minecraft, but it's like everybody else. You do it for 2 weeks and get sick of it.
Right. I don't know. Maybe that could be on for you this year. Maybe you can just try to find a different game, or we could play something that seems interesting to you.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
I could recommend Tetris or Pong,
Yeah. Frogger.
Tetris.
Tetris.
Super Mario Bros. The first one or the third one.
Tetris always stressed me out.
All right, not that one. My bad.
Snake.
It's a good brain game though.
There is games coming out that I'm very excited for, like GTA 6. Like I was big Grand Theft Auto fan, so GTA 6 is gonna be a good one.
Would you play that like regular just to mess around and do campaign, or would you want to do online, like
I
the
would
role
do
playing
online
aspect?
I would do online if my friends were playing, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't go online just to like interact with randoms. But I play it mostly for campaign.
Yeah, same.
Just because I like the last one. Gosh, I got it in 2013, and it was like the funnest thing. And there was no online at the time, so it was just like you're going around, doing missions and just killing people, and like it was a lot of fun. And the story was good on the last one. That's probably why it's stood the test of time. No, I was just curious about that though, because I mean I've like lost my interest, and you guys haven't really, and maybe it even ramped up a little bit. But I just want to know what the thought behind it is, I guess, if any. Like, do you schedule time to do it, or are you just playing it? Like, I'm just curious about it. Like, are you
Like,
I'm not.
like you're scheduling? I know you guys like schedule to play together, but like I'm just saying, any given day.
Like fit it in my schedule. Like in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna play Call of Duty from this time to this time or something.
yeah, or like I know I'm gonna be free at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna play from 9 to whenever I give it off.
Sometimes
Sometimes
a good amount of the time.
you're scheduling it most of the time.
In my head, yeah.
Or is it like when you have nothing to do, most of the time, are you going to play?
That's probably what I'm doing if like I don't know, like most of the chores that we have to do around the house are done or like mostly done.
Mhm.
Like if I don't have anything I would feel maybe guilty that I need to be doing before that, that's when I'll go play.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how do you do anything in your like free time? Like, you just like are like, oh, I don't have to go do this till like 4 o'clock, and that's like when you either like, that's just when you like do one of your hobbies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I mean it's the same as anything else. But
When I'm really like kind of the opposite of you, when I'm really like invested in a game though, I'll be at work and I'm like, I can't wait to get home and play.
I've been there.
Yeah.
And not that long ago. I mean, with Outer Wilds, I thought about that game all day long.
Mm-hmm.
While I was at home, or while I was at work, I couldn't wait. So I would be like, I'm gonna play this as much as I can today.
Right.
Whenever I have time, I'm gonna play this all Sunday long or whatever.
I don't know. It's like a little nostalgic. Just like knowing that I was like a little kid and I like video games. I'm just trying to keep a little piece of that as well, I guess. A little bit of childhood, but I was like super excited to actually go buy like the physical copy of the new Call of Duty when it came out in October, just because I hadn't done that in so long. So that's, I don't know.
I don't think you always have to view it as like keeping a piece of your kids brought off that is like certain things are childish, but like if you enjoy it, you enjoy it.
Right. I
So
didn't
just do
yeah.
it.
I agree.
I just meant the thing. I didn't mean it was childish. Just that something that I
Yeah.
enjoyed as a kid.
No,
that
I know what you mean. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But some people will say that, like, why do you play games that's for
Right.
kids? Why do you
Yeah, plenty of.
why do you watch these shows? They're for kids, whatever.
they're-
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
puzzles or
If you enjoy it, you enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Reading, honestly.
reading.
They
Yeah.
could be viewed as a normal person, but
I mean, it's just entertainment in a different way.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting entertainment somewhere. Reading the newspapers, entertainment. Watching TVs or movies. Watching cars drive by on your front porch. It's all entertainment. So
You just gotta find what you like.
yeah.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in a little bit of a rut where I haven't gotten a game that I've been into. because I've been there, but I just haven't even thought about turning it on in months. I don't even remember the last time I did. I don't know.
Well, we can change that soon. I think we should talk about we've recently gotten some snow here in Northeast Ohio, and I'm waiting
True.
to go sled.
Shit, we should go sledding.
I'm waiting to get my heartbeat going and sweating and being hot, but being cold at the same time.
It's just
Going down some big hills.
Just yeah.
sweating or sledding is a grind these days.
It is. It's a grind, but
Walking up the hill is not worth it, dude.
I hate the snow. I hate the cold. I don't want to snowboard. I don't want to ski. I don't want to sled. I don't want to build snowmen. Okay, it's
Bro's
not
the fucking Grinch.
I was going to be a Grinch. Sorry.
But listen, I will tell you a story.
It's about to get so dark.
It's not dark at all. In
Serious
second
trauma.
in second grade, before school started.
Wait, you got a bloody nose. That's my guess.
Okay, cool. Can you shut the fuck up?
He does, Eric. He does that all the time, bro. He will not let you speak.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Eric. So my story.
In second grade, before school started, you know, we were outside waiting for them to open the doors, and it was super icy and out. And me and this other kid were messing around on a big ice patch, and we like had our like hands on each other's shoulders, and we were like rustling back and forth. And then he let go, and I didn't know that was happening. And I lunged forward, and I smacked my face onto the ice, and then above my lip just busted open. Like very bad, bunch of tears, bunch of blood. Then the teacher came out to, you know, help me, and then my mom came and had to take me to the hospital. And I didn't end up getting stitches, but underneath this big stash, I do have a tiny scar.
Really doesn't like snow.
And that's why you will never play in the snow.
Travis, you were close.
You were
There was
close,
no-
yeah.
I just assumed second.
When you
grade-
said that at first, I was like, did I tell you this?
It's fucking predictable.
I just, you're a little kid. I just feel like your story was gonna lead with a nosebleed.
This story has nothing to do with snow, but I'll tell it anyway. It's a short one. I was when I was young, we had a retaining wall in our backyard, like 4 feet high, and we raked a pile of leaves. And I was a daring child, so I just learned how to backflip on the trampoline. So I was like, I'm gonna backflip off this wall into this pile of leaves. And
Crazy.
I just jumped. I took a backflip, and I don't know if you've ever tried to backflip off a diving board or something, or like into a pool, but you have to like jump out because
you're
you'll
gonna-
just hit your face exactly where your feet just were
Right.
if you don't. So my forehead, and I still have the scar like, right up here above
Mhm.
my eyebrow, smashed into the rock wall, and I split my forehead open, and I went inside, and I didn't tell anyone about it. I went to the bathroom and tried to hide it, but my forehead was gaping over here.
Yeah,
It
like,
was like you
busted
could
open.
see the like tissue underneath, and I was probably 11, and I was scared.
Did you
so-
eventually tell your mom though?
Yeah, and yeah, Jeff just put a band-aid on it, split it open. but it
You went from gaping to a band-aid.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the snow. We didn't go snowboarding or skiing at all last year. We should definitely try to go.
Yeah, we should.
We should try to go before spring this year, maybe if we can. Something else, I guess we could talk about it. I just thought about. I was at a safety council meeting this week at work, and the topic was seasonal depressive disorder. You know, they went into how seasonal depression looks, and I'm just curious if you guys ever like felt seasonal depression before, especially in like the wintertime, or is it? And this is different from like clinical depression, like if we've ever felt that or had that, but seasonal depression is like this time of year. I think it hits hard.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I can call it like seasonal depression, but I definitely am not at times as happy during the winter months compared to the summer months.
I think symptoms are like weight gain, like loss of motivation. It's not always sadness. It's just like unwillingness to want to do stuff,
Right.
which I think is easy to get into.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
it gets dark at 5 o'clock. It's cold up in the Northeast. It's kind of easy to kind of slip into I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I get it more in the month August than the winter.
Really
Yeah,
interesting.
because it's such a stagnant month. It's just kind of hot.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on in August.
Things kind of stop growing in August. It's
Right.
like a turning point. Yeah, that's why I don't like. I'm fine this time of year. I kind of like the winter. I like the snow.
Yeah. I like the change. I like that we get all the seasons, but
I don't mind
don't
the
know.
cold, but I find myself blaming it on my laziness. I will definitely take this and do nothing, and I'll gain weight. I won't exercise. I'll eat like shit, and I'm trying to fight that this year. But gosh, I mean, every New Year's resolution with weight loss has usually ended within a week. So this year I'm trying to keep that going, trying to keep my mind a little sharper, stay busy, and fight that, because I definitely have had it before.
Yeah.
I think I've had clinical depression before. I never diagnosed, but seasonal depression has definitely hit me once or twice. So. What about you, Mike?
No, I don't really think so. I just kind of changed like my overall like weeks, activities and stuff. I mean, other than that, no, I don't really think I get seasonal depression. And if I do, I just cope with it with like, what are those things called? Like your happy place. What's that? Your comfort stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like gaming and kind of things like that. Things that you enjoy.
I mean, yeah, I might just do something that maybe either reminds me of like my childhood or like something that's always been a safe place. I don't know.
So you have felt this before in the winter?
Maybe. I don't know if I'd really like chalk it up to seasonal depression. I just think like one day, 2 days, like I might get hit with a little something, and then I'd make sure to fall back on that, and then I'm good.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I mean, it's not like it has to last the whole season. I think you just get in ruts and you have to dig out of them in a way.
Mm-hmm.
What about Eric?
I mean, no.
No seasonal depression? You just said you freaking hate the snow and snowmen and everything about the winter.
Yeah, I just don't enjoy the cold weather.
But you don't find yourself more in a rut than any other time of year?
I don't know that we want to get into this right now because it's a lot. I am depressed all the time.
All year long?
Yeah, it's not seasonal. It renews annually.
So it's a yearly membership.
At least you don't have seasonal depression. Yeah,
I guess that's the way to
You
look at
finna try therapy, brother?
I mean,
it. Do we want to get into this? Because it's a lot.
No, that wasn't even for the pod.
Okay, I've done therapy though,
okay.
Have you?
That's good.
You've
And
been to
I-
a therapist?
and I'm in a depression study currently.
Right now?
Yeah,
What does that look like?
I'm taking pills, and I go like every week, and they ask me questions, like they do rating scales, and kind of see if my answers ever change or anything.
So it's just medication?
Yeah, so how a study works is some people get the real pill and some people get a placebo. And you don't know. I actually think I'm on a placebo pill currently. So unfortunate. But I get paid every time I do the visit. So like $100 every time. So made a little move off of it.
So did you seek this out, or did they, like, were you referred to them, or how did that work?
So I guess we'll get into this a little bit, which is fine.
Let's get into it.
I am severely depressed. Okay.
Like diagnosed by a therapist.
Not diagnosed.
Okay.
Now,
But I'll be real, I don't need it diagnosed because I just know how I feel.
I just didn't know because
No, I know.
you
No,
went to a
but people
therapist.
will
That's
wonder
right.
that. A few years ago, I got really depressed, and I did go to therapy for half a year. And there was times when I feel it was beneficial, and there was times when I felt I wasn't really getting anything out of it because I was doing relatively okay, and I felt like I didn't have anything new to talk about or anything. But I didn't ever really come out of it. And there's various reasons as to why I've been depressed, and I'm not gonna dive into all those. But it's a daily thing for me where I don't really enjoy life too much, and I hate my life a lot of the time. Even though I have positives in it, it's hard for me to find the positives more so and see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's quite the opposite. Like the first, like, I don't know, 4 years of my life, I was most of the time very happy or content in life, and there would be moments of sadness and like anger and whatnot, but they wouldn't stick around much. But the last few years, it's been the total opposite, where there are moments of happiness, but they don't stick around much, like literally an hour or two at a time. In the moment, it's gone, like back to depression. I mean, I make a lot of jokes with you guys, and in general, that's what people do a lot. They cope with comedy, which I'm cool with doing. And the phone's always listening to us. So I think I was on Instagram one day and an ad just popped up for
BetterHelp.
for a depression study. And I just clicked on it and I was like, I don't know that anything's gonna come of this, but let's do it. And I mean, it's been okay. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm on a placebo, but like I said, I'm getting paid, and it's been nice talking to those people because it's at a clinic where like they want to hear about your problems. They're not judging. Not that like the people I've talked to outside of that stuff, like friends and family, are judging me because they're not. But it's just different because it's hard to talk about sometimes, and you don't want to come off as a downer or anything. And people will want to give their 2 cents. People will want to give advice, and it's not always good, and it's also not always what you're looking for. Trigger warning for people, all this stuff, depression. I've definitely had suicidal thoughts several times over the past few years. Never to the point where I've had a plan in place or anything, but definitely most days I just feel life would be better done, and I would be happier gone. Get rid of all my problems. I'm not saying that's the answer. Obviously, I'm still here. But to get very transparent and real about it, there's a few months ago where I was going through some shit, and I was very close on the brink. And at like 2 a.m, I called my buddy Ryan, and we just went and like we literally walked like 3.5 miles in the middle of the night around the city, just so I could not be alone and kind of let my thoughts float, I guess. Someone to talk to. Very real situation, obviously. And if he wasn't, available that night, I don't know that I'd be here today. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. But just being honest, and I don't talk a lot about this with people, not because I'm ashamed of it, because I'm not. But like I said, it does make people uncomfortable. Even, Trav here, he knows some of what I've gone through over the past few years. He's a good buddy. And he has straight said, obviously I don't know what to say, or like this is not, something I want to hear, but he's never like pushed me away. He's always listened to whatever I have wanted to say because he's a good friend. But I can understand like it's an uncomfortable topic for people, very much so. And so it's nice at this clinic that, they want to hear that stuff. Obviously they don't want people to be depressed, but they're there for those reasons. But yeah, with this, therapy can be good. Just being honest, it's expensive. And my therapist a few years ago was very, very affordable, and I thought she did a good job. But when I called her a few months ago, she was all booked up, so I couldn't get in there. And she gave me recommendations for several places, but when I looked into it, it's just, I'm gonna be honest, pricey. And I'm not saying that should talk anyone else out from seeking therapists, because everyone's got their own means and their own needs and all that good stuff. But that's why I haven't returned, and that's why I've kind of trying to seek other outlets like this study and whatnot. There's a chance after this study's done that I do get put on a medication, like for real, and who knows what will come from that. But I will say with all this, because I'm not saying any of this for anyone to feel bad for me, or I'm not even looking for advice or any of that stuff. I just think it's very key that if anyone in your life, whether it's you or someone you know, they might be feeling this way, I think it's very key that you don't try to force them to talk, but let them know you're there to listen. Because there are times when certain people in my life, they know about this about me, and then they'll ask questions, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to answer. It's not what I want the focus of every conversation to be. But just letting them know, like, hey, I am here if you ever want to talk about anything.
Right.
But don't try to force them to. Just letting them know that they have an outlet, I think, is super, super good. So, sorry to get down.
No, to backtrack. I mean, I appreciate you sharing that with us because I think it's good to talk about.
Yeah.
I know I'm outside, but I think it's good for people to understand that they're not alone. And talking about it is huge for some people. That could be the same situation for someone else that you calling Ryan did for yourself. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So just hearing that someone else is feeling the same way, um,
Yeah, it could
You know.
help a lot of people.
And
It's important.
anyone that is listening, if you're feeling down, feel free to hit me up.
Yeah.
I love listening to people talk, and I might be able to relate. So
and
Good.
to add to that, like just from me to you, I mean, anytime you want to talk, I will also be there for you.
for sure.
I know those conversations are awkward, and just to backtrack again, I probably was depressed for like 2 years back in 2012 and 2013, and I never had anybody to talk to, and that was probably self-inflicted. I know there was people that I could have talked to, but I just never thought anybody cared enough, or I shouldn't say it like that.
No, but it's how you feel though.
Yeah.
Because I feel that often, even though people say they care, it's like, but to what degree, you know, and how much do you really want to hear about this? Because I can only say this so many times to you before you're kind of sick of it, and then you're asking, well, are you trying to be better or anything? And it's not always that simple.
Right.
You know, so what you're saying is valid. Even if
Yeah.
people cared, what you're saying is valid. And at that time, you said 12, 13. I mean,
2012, 2013.
yeah,
I
you
was-
you were in high school though,
yeah, I was-
which is hard.
Yeah, and you look back, and I didn't even realize it at the time. Like, it was something I retrospectively realized like a couple years later, I think, because I was feeling the same way. And I'm like, this is like, I kind of got out of it and I went back into it. And I was like, what is this? I kind of started to question it myself. And I was just going through a lot of changes at home. And I was so lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. You're getting to the point where, like, all your friends around you are applying for colleges, and you're like, I don't know what I want to do. So it was a tough time. And then a lot of big changes at home, things going on with my family. It's like, I was down and out. I didn't care about myself at all. I didn't try. I cut my own hair. Like, I wore the same 3 things to school every day, even if they were dirty. Like, I wore sweatpants every day. I didn't try at all. It was a tough time, but like I said, I just never talked to anybody about it, and I wish I had, just because it wouldn't have been 2 years that I felt that way.
Right.
Maybe I could have dug myself out. But like you said, like, when you're talking to somebody about that kind of stuff, when you're that person that's listening, it is hard to just listen and not offer advice and not like try to help them in a way. Like, to be just a listener and not like try to change their whole lives because that's what you feel you want to do because you care about them, and that's natural. But like, when you're in a position where you really can't control the situation, you're just there to listen. You have to realize that, and like, that's just part of being a good friend and family member, and whoever's talking to you, like, know when to just listen and know when to offer advice. I think is a good thing to keep in mind.
And just like I said, just don't make every conversation about that
Yeah.
afterwards, because that, speaking from experience, has pushed me away from people.
Yeah.
And I know they cared, but like knowing that info about me obviously can change your view on me.
Right.
Because not that you don't like me anymore or anything, but you're like, dang, I know he's going through this. What can I do? Like you said. And like I said, the care is there. I know that. But like, I don't want it to be, hey, Eric, how's it going? Have you been down this week? Like, let's
Right.
not dive straight into that,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
So-
And if you want to talk about it, you got to talk about it. Like, I'm not going to be the person, or I don't know about these guys, but I don't want to bring it up. But I will. If you want to talk about it, I will. And I think that's kind of how it should be. Unless you're like at a point where I can see, like, physically see that you're in a really bad spot, I'm going to ask you what's going on.
For sure. Yeah. And that's fine.
But, I think it's good to notice and be aware of those kinds of situations. Because it is hard to see that there's people to talk to that are close to you. But, I think that you'll find most people will. And you just got to find those people. And the people that you care about enough to know this about you and not judge you.
Right.
Because that's also important. Because some people probably would if you pick the wrong person. And,
I've done that.
talk behind your back.
I mean, there are certain people that I opened up to in the past that,
Use it against you or something.
yeah, slightly, some people are like that.
And that's grounds for cutting somebody off, because obviously you don't care about me. Like, you're going and talking behind my back, or like you don't care
Yeah.
about the problems and things I'm going
Especially
through.
like I opened up, I was vulnerable to you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Use it against me. Or...
yeah. But so you gotta trust the people, which like I have plenty of people for that.
So not seasonal depression. That's real stuff there. That's the
It's all real. It's all valid. Okay,
seasonal is real, yeah, but
a little different, little
Yeah.
more long lasting.
I think it can even get ramped up in the wintertime just because a lot of what you would do to escape could be outdoors,
For sure,
finding some sunlight.
it's definitely not helpful. Especially with like I still play sports a lot, obviously, but getting outside and playing even more, and just the sunlight, like you said, shining, and it feels good, and it definitely doesn't help.
No, and I feel that because we started golfing a couple years ago, and gosh, I would find that I'm bad at golfing, but just being outside for a few hours with your friends, even
what
if
makes
you're,
it.
yeah, it's just so relaxing, and it makes it elevates your happiness just by being outside
Mhm.
and knowing that you just spent a few hours outside. Being a little bit active, it's not super strenuous activity, but getting out there and doing something and just being in the sunlight, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing holding me on to golf. I freaking suck at it. But it's good to have those outlets in the summer, in the fall, in the winter, in the spring. Like, you got to know what you can do to keep your mind and body entertained. I think for myself to stay out of that rut. I think I might get it in the summertime because I hate like 95 degrees, 100-degree days. I won't go outside.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you asked me to eat outside when it's 90 degrees. I'm gonna go back in my car because I'm not eating outside when it's that hot. All right, guys, that's all we got for you. I appreciate you tagging along for episode 5 of the Incredibly Average Podcast. I think it's important to know that life has its ups and downs, but keep in mind, he who goes to sleep with an itchy butt will wake up with a stinky finger. And I'll leave you with that. Thanks for joining us again. Reach out to us. That's a wrap on this episode, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Appreciate it. Love you.
Love you.
Yeah.
Bye.